everybody to the circuit Gilles Villeneuve here in Montreal, Canada for the GPVWC Academy Series. It's the 10th round of the championship, 14 laps ahead of us around this 4.361 kilometre circuit. Just a couple of weeks ago we were here for Formula One, and now the Academy Series gets their attempt at this fantastic track. One of my favourites on the calendar as well. Short, sharp and sweet as well. Make a mistake and the barriers are waiting for you. Qualifying is already underway, as we can see. Lewis Dykes has got the fastest time, 1:33.671. David Carter in second, 1:33.734. Christos Berzins as well in third position, 1:30.3. The entire field at the moment separated by 2.742 seconds. As we take a look at David Carter coming down on the back straightaway as well as they come in towards the braking zone. Now as they try and attack once more into the last corner, keeps on booting it as they come through. And across the line for Carter, does he improve from third position? No, stays therefore. Berzins, however, goes to the top of the timesheet. So we are seeing improvements here as things stand, and fingers crossed we're going to see a lot more of a, I don't want to say, because I hate saying it, but a more of a unpredictable session coming into the two races as well. So fingers crossed that we're going to see Lewis Dykes now on top. So 1:33.393. The servers updating themselves as we wait on our times and positions. But yeah, Lewis Dykes on top. First sector, fastest of all. Look at that, by 0.058 of a second. So he's done a 25.539 as well. No one else improved just up there. Oliver Taras in fifth position, 1:34.325. Fastest third sector as well, 37.372. Dylan McKenna as well in ninth position, just coming to the pit lane. He's done a 1:34.6. Charlotte Minik as well in 10th position, 1:34.794. Michael R.J. Cabanas as well, 1:35.860 in 14th. They were the last lap times as the big improvements. Lewis Dykes is on board now as well. The number 2 car coming down towards the 13-14 chicane past the Wall of Champions. His last lap time was already the big improvement. So I wonder what we're going to see here as he comes into the last corner. 25.5 in the first sector, 30.5 in the second sector. He'll take across the line, and is it quicker than his previous lap time? It is. It's a 1:33.092 of a second. Increases that gap up to 0.483 across the board and immediately backs out to the pit lane. Oliver Taras now in P5 at the moment, the number 6 car in a livery quite akin to what we see the GP3s of ART running in as well, with the white bodywork and red edge and aero cover and up the nose as well. Into the last corner, beautiful looking car, keeps it close to the champions wall, keeps the car to the tight exit as well. He's actually put it dead center, so that's going to lose him a couple of tenths, and it does so. 1:33.519, the best racing line at this circuit, as he locks it through one, sort of as a hand-baked turn throwing it in. That was quite fun to see. Best line at the exit of the corner to keep it straight up. You've got to keep the car towards the right-hand side of the wall. That's the best for everything as well, in terms of having a smoother slipstream run to the line, losing out on the least of it. Philip Chesanicki as well in 6th position. First sector is up by, I believe, 0.3 of a second. He glasses to see that little timing monitors as well. Up by only a tenth now. In the second sector, 0.193, that's pretty obvious as well. 6th at the moment, so first sector for Czeswisnicki as well, 25.866. That's a 30.790. I don't think we're going to see mega improvements on times. Christian Berzins as well, improvements over the 2 sectors. Greens in the sectors 1 and 2. Green sector 1 as well for Nick Coupier as well. It's gone slower in the middle sector. It's gone white on my timing screen. That means there's no basic improvement. Czeswisnicki across line goes 5th. Christian Berzins in 3rd at the moment. Can he go faster? Only 2nd. 1:33.352. So there was some areas for improvement up towards the line, and this is Nick Coupier in P8. Is he going to find the magic touch in the last corners? Into the braking zone across 13 and 14, flicks the car in and hits the champions wall with the rear right corner as well. He got too much curb on the entrance, unfortunately, and it's lost in the time across it, and it's a 1:34.895, so massively off the pace. Czeswisnicki as well up in the first sector, fastest of anybody at 25.530, so has got the delta time to improve if they so wish. Into turns 8 and 9, flick the car through, gets on the sausage curb, puts them out, and almost just a George Russell, almost touching the exit wall there as well. Just keeps it on the deck as he comes into the braking zone for turn 10 as well. And he's down in that middle sector. It is a 30.932 basic sector time. So does need to find some adjustments as they come into it. What's going to be the last 2 corners on the circuit? That's going to be the biggest improvements. Can we see anything? Listening to the engines as it drags down the back straight away. Into the braking zone then. Down in the middle sector, but was fastest of all in the first sector. Could improve at least to the front row until he does that. Too much power at the exit. The car spins round on him, and unfortunately, that is not going to be any form of improvement. David Carter, 4th as he comes into the last 2. Is he going to find time? Flicks the car in, jumps over the sausage curbs, doesn't hit the wall at the exit. Does he keep the car to the right-hand side? He does indeed. He's kept it planted as he approaches the line. It's a quick time, puts him 3rd, 1:33.404. So, keeps it through. Now we look at Oliver Taras is now in 4th position. Up in the first sector, it was a 25.609. That is faster than David Carter, but it's about a 10.5 off of Lewis Dykes' time, but now he's made a mistake at the exit as well. Just put it through the exit with too much power through turn 10's hairpin and has lost the time. Now we see Berzins as well, fastest first sector. Hasn't come up on my timing tower actually. Mine's stuck. Now it has as well. P2 25.502, and he's trying to cut the corner on the inside line. He's realised that lap time wasn't going to be the improvement and backs out. But 25.436 for Lewis Dykes. He does have an improvement, locks up a little bit on the left-hand tyre coming into turn 10. Unusual tyre to lock, actually. Usually it's the inside right, but this one outside left as he tried to flick the car in. Too much momentum still. So it's understeering off because he's turning in and it's driving wide. Oversteers when the car just turns in, it just goes straight on. Across the line into the last two corners. He's down. Will he pit? No, he's going to complete the lap time. He gets in just about through the chicane. Yeah, he doesn't. Touches the wall. Too much of it as well. Speed coming through. He breaks on the track and then escapes the server. David Carter coming across the line. He's set the fastest middle sector. Improves time, not position. 1:33.398. So that is still, however, I want to say Lewis Dykes in brilliant form at the moment. It's a 0.259 advantage over at least the rest of the field. So definitely finding the grip that we need to see, finding the times that he wants to play with. As we see Charlotte Minnick now into turn 10. Personal best in the first sector. Only down by 3/10 in the second sector. So definitely has the pace if they get up towards the line. It's looking okay. 16, 17. It was a good exit. Keeps it open. I'm looking at the sectors on the delta as well to see if we're going to see anything faster. You can click the times and see them. Outlap and inlap 25.9, 31.0. Cross the line now. Best third sector was a 37.7, and it does improve with a 37.5. So improves time, not position. 1:34.583. David Junt as well, who's in 17th position, has also had an improvement. A 1:43.161. So again, we are seeing the differentials in times, but he's set the fastest, and he's now actually looking at a personal best. So first sector's a 26.045, and as I curse him by getting upside down, and that is a typical R-Factor accident. The AI always have difficulty at this part of the track, especially on R-Factor 1 all those years ago. They used to take too much speed to the chicane, jump over the sausage curbs, and they flipped over. If you always wanted to practice your safety car technique on R-Factor 1, you always used to set Formula cars to this track and go watch them flip over. As that's unfortunately not going to be David Junt's best lap. The two sectors he's had get erased, and he's going to have to try that again in the next... Well, actually, he's not going to have time, is he? So, Cabanas, Smith, Harvey, and Yunt, who are in the pit lane, that is it. They're not going to set any other times in this session. They won't be able to get out and out that fast enough. Christian Spearzin's now down across it. He's P2, 25.612. First sector, 38.22. Second sector, he is massively, massively down on his own sectors. His best lap time of a 1:33.351 is not going to be beaten on this runaround, but with 30 seconds left when he crosses the line, as he does so now, he's going to have one more run, but he was down on that last lap by 5/10 on his own best time, 8/10 overall on Lewis Dykes' time. As we see Karula as well in 5th position, locks the rears coming into turn 6 and 7. A tricky part of the track to get right after passing the casino. It's going to have to find a better sector. Actually, sector 1's not looking too bad, is it? It's a 25.666, so still got time. Checking flags out. Nope, that's pretty much done it. Jump the curb over the sausages, and unfortunately it's a scrambled lap to go with that sausage curb. Benzer's now in P2, up in the first sector. Lewis Dykes, 1:33.068. But he was just on a lap time, remember, and he set the fastest third sector, so he could have gone fast on his last lap, but he had a poor first and second sector, so he's got to change that up. Here's Bezins now up towards the line. Well, he's just come out of turn 11, hasn't he? So still got the straightaway to go before taking it in. Is he going to have any delta? Is he going to have a faster time? Second sector, he's only down by 0.033, so he could still scrape something out of the bag as he comes in. 25.4 first sector, 30.7 sector, hits the wall, and the pressure gets to the better of him. But look at Lewis Dykes, slow in the first sector with a 25.455. Second sector, he's up a 10th on his own best lap time. Could we see a 1:32.9 as the pole time to out-qualify by 3.5 tenths of a second the rest of the field? Dykes coming into the last corner. 13 and 14, swoop it in, avoid the sausages, get it up close to the wall, keep the car to the right-hand side, approach the line. Is he quicker or not? Answer, no. Yes! 1:30. I can't see the new time. 1:33.023. He's taken nanoseconds off of it. We don't get to the 1:32.9s, but we get as close as we do. And it's Lewis Dykes on pole position for race 1. As here comes, I think that's a lap time completed for Charlotte. She would have completed by now. Yes, it did. So there we go. So in total, Lewis Dykes has pole position. Berzins is second. Carter third. Taras fourth. And Brody Lawless goes in 5th position. So a better run as we come through. We're going to take a look at the results on the starting grid in a few moments' time as they come into it. As we see Charlotte focusing in on the pit lane. So here's the results then from qualifying. It is Lewis Dykes who has taken pole position, 0.3 of a second to Christian Berzins as well. David Carter is in 3rd. Oliver Taras is 4th. Brody Lawless in 5th position. Yunus Karula in 6th. Philip Czerwiznicki in 7th. Joe Gillett is in 8th. Matoshi Soluswisnicki as well in 9th position. Nick Coupier in 10th. Charlemagne Nicky as well in 11th. Dylan McKenna is 12th. Mark Petras is 13th. Michael R.J. Canabasas is in 14th. Louis Smith, 15th. Caroline Harvig is 16th. And David Yunt is down in 17th position. 10 seconds off on his last lap time. The field separated by 5.3 seconds. That's to David Yunt's time. But Caroline Harvig was inside 9 tenths between these two. So it's coming up. Race 1 is soon. It's round 10 at the Circuit Gilles Villeneuve for the GPVWC Academy Series. And we're in for 14 laps in both race 1 and race 2. Good evening, everybody. Welcome back. So here we are then, this fantastic circuit which has hosted Formula 1 World Championship rounds, NASCAR, IndyCar, now hosts the fantastic Academy Series in eSport form. And everybody is excited because nobody truly knows what we are going to see here today. It could be that we get 2 fantastic races as per normal in the Academy. It could be that we get 2 races that are pack racing train and nobody can overtake. Both are very exciting. One thing we do know is with the sausage curbs and the trickiness of these cars, we're going to see a very jumbled up couple of races. Lewis Dykes has continued his pace from qualifying in the warm-up. He's just on a 1:33.458. Not as quick as his pole time, but very fast in the 10 minutes we've had in between quali before race 1 gets underway. David Jean also put it up with a 1:34.785. So he has got the pace despite qualifying at the back of the field. So it's anybody's guess what we're about to see, but it's going to be very, very exciting. Now, formation lap is hopefully activated. If not, we will get ready. Considering it's a 14-lap race, I'm looking seeing the one lap one. Track temperature 27 degrees, air temperature 27. It's pretty much consistent. As we get ready, we'll take a look shortly at the starting grid as they all begin to line up with one light. So that is going to have a formation lap in procession as well. Just waiting a few of the cars, including our pole sitter who's still in the pit lane. Lewis Dykes, David Carter, Yunus Karula, Joe Gillett as well, Monique, Petras, Cabanas, Smith and David Jan all in the pit lane. Now they're all starting to filter out onto the circuit. And everyone looks to be okay and clear. So, all set then for this first race, the parade lap around this Circuit Gilles Villeneuve in Montreal, Canada. And hopefully it's going to be a very chaotic couple of laps. All cars are now on the grid, which means the parade lap is go. Let's take a look then at how they will line up on the starting grid. It's Lewis Dykes on pole position as well. Christian Berzes is second as well, with David Carter starting third. Oliver Taras starts in 4th position. Then it's Brody Lawless who starts in 5th. Alongside him as well is Yunus Karula, Philip Czesnicki alongside Joe Gillett starting in 8th position. 9th on the board for Mateus Sokolosnicki as well in 9th, and Nicola Cupier starts in 10th. Nice to see Nick back up in the field again. Charlotte Monique starts in 11th, Dylan McKenna starts 12th, Mark Petras starts 13th on the field, and as we said, 14th coming in now as well for Michael R.J. Cabanas. Louis Smith 15th, Caroline Harvig is 16th, 17th on the grid for David Young, qualified 10 seconds off the pace of the rest of the field. So they are coming towards turn 8 and 9 as they get ready for, this is the parade lap. 14 laps will come ahead of us as well here for round 10 of the Academy Series of GPVWC. And they'll practice a little bit of the slipstreaming, they'll practice as well getting their braking zones right. A few of them always like to make sure their wheel is working correctly if they're using them. Pedals all correct, not going to fall off in the middle of the race like Max Verstappen. You can see them already trying to build up the tyre temperature as well. A few of them also like setting up the hood to the correct position so that on its ideal screen, all the information is exactly where it needs to be. Nobody's going to get caught out when these lights go out. Build up the perfect revs, start ready to get going as well. And of course, the driver at the back, David Junt, has got the sort of best opportunity to get going, because while the rest of the grid will be sitting there for a longer amount of time, he'll be there the shortest amount of time before the lights go out. Track temperature 47 degrees now, air temperature at 27 degrees. It is bright sunshine. Field now starting to come into the starting position. Dale 17 on the grid. They line up manually. So last burnout, you can see Christus Berzin as well doing it. Dykes on pole position. He's on the right-hand side of your screen. On the left-hand side will be Berzins. Behind will be Carter and Taras. Brody Law starts up in 5th position. Last cars coming into place then. Round 10 of the GPVWC Academy Series is about to get underway. Lewis Dykes on pole position. What is going to happen? Who will have the best getaway? The lights are coming on. There's 5 of them. And when they go out, we will be underway. Lights out, Academy Series is go, go, go. Good start from the inside from Bez as well. Look at Dykes, going to have to control it down towards turn number 1. Carter and Taras side by side. Bez is trying to go round. Coming to the corner is Dykes as well. Meantime, further back, Brody Law's trying to pass Torres, well, not going to work out. Dykes takes the lead as we come back to the middle of the field. Side by side action. Taras on the inside line. Brody trying to go around the outside. It's worked out into good positions. Now a few of them cutting the corners and as well getting jumped up in the air, as can't quite tell who that is coming through the mid-part of the track, but it's Lewis Dykes who leads. Berzin in 2nd, Carter 3rd, Lawless 4th, Taras 5th, Karulu in 6th, Gillett up to 7th, and David Jantor has passed Harvick as well further back, so he's moved up into 17th position. As we take a look now, Dykes leads it down at the bottom as well, into 8 and 9, as McKenna passed Medic as well, but Lewis Dykes leads the race as we come up towards the hairpin for the first time, and it's 5 wide further back. That's Oliver Taras, who's in the middle of it as well. Just ahead of him is Carter, as Gillette trying to go through on the inside line into the braking zone. Cheswick's Nicky in there too. 3 wide on the braking zone. They're going to make contact. A little bit of wheel banging between the 3 of them. Luckily, they don't lose any big bodywork damage as well. I hope the steering's not damaged as well. Wheel contact often do that. Lawless getting involved further back in the battle, but there's on board with Oliver Taras trying to find a way through into the chicane. Meantime, further back, just a little bit of position diving as they come into 14-15. All looks to be okay and quietening down, but just behind, that's so-called Nicky passing Karula, and McKenna's passed Munich again. So them two having a little bit of a duel on the opening lap. Right, 1 down. For 13 to go. Here is Charlotte Minnick as well on the inside line with 3 wide. And there's Petras getting involved. A little bit wide there, actually, from McKenna. So Petras going to try and go around the outside, gets a slide spin and goes unpredictably into contact with Charlotte, who just gets a little bit of a tap on her front nose. And Dykes already put out a 1.1 second lead. The front look, there's Brody Lawless as well in a battle to side by side. Taras getting in there, and Lawless under pressure. He's in the light blue with white panels that we're looking at, not the purple. There he is now. There's Oliver Taras with the red engine cover top and white bodywork. We're riding with now Mateus, so of course Nicky as well, who's going to be on an attack of Taras, trying to go around the outside towards 8 and 9. No, not an overtaking opportunity there. You're just thinking about it's turn 10. Never mind Coupier and Corona were thinking about it as well. McKenna's dropped back, and already they're all going everywhere. As we look at Cheswick Nicky as well, who's in 7th position. He's going to get swamped by both of them, because through goes Corona as well. Almost loses out to is that Coupier in 10th position now? Yep, dealt with McKenna, who's down to 11th. And there is Nick, who's moved up in the pink top engine cover as they come down. Now look at Cheswick Nicky side by side as well with so-called Nicky. So the two side by side with each other. Quiet, there we go, because Mateus get through. He's going to hold it around the outside line into the last chicane. That's going to be quite tight. There's some time. It looks trying to come around the outside. That's going to be Corolla trying to find a way through. Hasn't worked. And now getting the slipstream, practically bump drafting down towards turn number 1. He'll go for an outside manoeuvre. That gives you the inside line for turn 2. Gets it wrong, loses a rear tyre on the grass and does a pretty much impressive 180. But gets it back by going the other direction as well. Now, Lewis Dykes, 1:33.662. He's got a 1.8 second lead at the front. He's leading this race. This is Oliver Taras, who is chasing down Lawless, who has remained in 5th position after the opening laps scramble. It's more like a Moto3 race that we've just watched there as well, rather than an Academy series. They're all bunched up. I said it's going to be one of 2 races. Either there'll be a train and nobody can overtake, a train and the people can overtake, or a leader domination. At the moment, it seems to be both, because Lewis Dykes has got the best of the track advantage, 25.6 in that first sector. 30.710 in the second. He's sending purple after purple sector times. This is Charlotte Minique as well, who is on the attack now to MRJ Cabanas. So Cabanas going to defend the outside line. Charlotte looking to the inside. That's going to try and lose a front wing if you try that again, because of the way turn 10 hairpin sort of filters in. It's got a tight entrance and a slow exit pace. And on board now, this is the opportunity to overtake down to the chicane. If you get it done, gets in that slipstream, going to pull to the inside line. Now, of course, Kamenas is going to know about that, so doesn't go defensive at all, actually. The speed wasn't there. Avoid those sausage curbs. That is the mistake. That's the mistake from Kamenas as well that Charlotte's been looking for. Meantime, just ahead, Petras going for it. So that's going to be on the inside. Petras now swaps to the outside. This time gets the braking right and swoops back in front of Coupier as two. Kamenas and Menek still battling it out as we look into the braking zone. Now Charles trying to look left and right, so using all the available opportunities to make a little overtake. It's not paying off, unfortunately. We thought it might, but it's just being a little bit too how do I say it, unpredictable where the car, look at the twitching as well. The tyre temperatures with 47-degree heat are going to be all over the place, so I won't be surprised if that's causing a few issues out there with the simulation of the tyre rubber and the surface tension getting all broken up as well. You know, you've got to have the right pressure to get in with the right feeling of the car. Doesn't matter if it's IRL or on a simulation, you have to have the feeling that you have faith in the car, you can drive the car and almost like it's connected to you as well. You sort of go into a trance during the races. That's why everybody loves racing and everybody loves driving. It's just one of those things that you can't explain but always love to see. As we come up now, here comes Nick Coupier. Can he find a way through? At the moment, I'm going to say no. He's looking to the inside line. Still not going for a braking point. 10 to go. Lewis Dyke still in the lead. 1:33.345. Little bit of a wide there from Nick, and the exit of the chicane almost put it in the wall. That would have bounced him along nicely. But like two different races going on. Yellow in the third sector. Is that for? Yes, it's Louis Smith who has dropped to the back. Our wonderful TV director's cutting to it before I even needed to say it on the timing screen. Just got a little wide over the little jumps of the sausage curbs at the exit of the last corner, went into the wall. There's Brody Lawless then in 5th position, closing up on the back of Joe Gillett in 4th. This is the battle, and just behind it's going to be Oliver Taras, who's got a fantastic last name. For esport racing as well. That's what I love, the really memorable names that you get in racing as well that stick with you as they come down now into the braking zone for the hairpin. Thought Lawless was going to look for a little move there, hasn't done it, takes a wide line, nice inside attack, hits the apex with a chef's kiss of perfection. Now look at the exit speed he's got as well, so Lawless is going to have a big run here on Gillett down towards the chicane area. Is he going to look to the inside line? No, it's gone defensive. He's going to try and dummy him around the outside. That's never an opportunity that can work. Usually you end up going across the escape road. He backs out of it, gets a better exit, almost touches the wall. Unfortunately, does Gillett. That gives Lawless the opportunity. He's got the inside line down towards turn 1. If Gillett can just hold on around the outside, he'll get the cut back in towards turn 2. It's exactly what's happened. Side by side to the first 2 corners. Lawless now going to have to get the switch back. He thought about that mid-corner, tried to go to the inside. Gillett was there, already had that defended, and now we've also got right behind as well with Oliver Taras, who's going to try and capitalise on this as much as possible. These three running together in the battle for 4th position. Lawless getting a bit desperate there, trying to look on the inside of turn 6. That's never an opportunity to overtake. But a yellow flag in the first sector. Is that is that Nick Coupier has gone down from 10th to 15th? I think it is. I think it's Coupier has made a mistake. It is Coupier has made a mistake at the 3 and 4 chicane, so he's, I think, he's riding damaged as well. The car's pulling, so it's understeering off. So he's got not a lot of grip there, so I wonder if he's still got a front wing. On board with Lawless then, looking to the inside of the hairpin at turn 10. Go for it! You had the move. Oh, if he had sent it, would have had it. Never mind, he's been given an opportunity as well, because Joe Gillett has gone a little bit wide on braking. The rear of the car stepping out, and here comes Lawless with the opportunity down the straight. Look at this now, over 200 kilowatts an hour. He's going to practically be pushing him around. Gillett goes defensive. Lawless says, okay, I'll stay around the outside, and now I would cut across the front. into the braking zone. Yeah, there we go. Perfect move there. That was all caused by Gillette making a mistake. Is it raining? Is it raining? I swear I saw a little bit of could be a picture breakup as well, but the clouds have come in. Oliver Taras now just dropped back into 6th position. Gillette trying to get his place back in towards turn number 1. It hasn't worked out. I'm not sure if it is predicted to rain at all, but at the moment it's dry. As we see Karula Karula's on the grass. He's trying to get past as well with Junt coming through. And David Junt's going to go on the inside line. That's Harvig as well. Need to get my positions right on our timing screen here. Yep, it is Junt ahead. Karula's now dropped behind. And that ahead is going to be Cabanas as well. So they're all coming through as they slip through into the casino section on the right-hand side. Monaco isn't the only... Monaco and Las Vegas aren't the only calendars on the F1 season that go past a world-famous casino. Here we do it as well on the waterfront. Look at this, battle for 4th. Now predicted between 4 drivers. Lawless, Gillette, Taras, Ches Wisnicki and Solo Cole Wisnicki as well in there too. So they're all going to be in the braking zone battles, because this track, 3 long straights separated by 1, 2, 3 chicanes and a tight first sector. Here's Taras now on the slipstream of Gillette, pulls the inside line. Gillette's losing a lot of time. I wonder if he's got some sort of problem. Oliver Taras was too easy for him to get through on the inside line. Lap 8 of 14. We have already passed half distance. So it is Lewis Dykes who leads by 5.4 seconds. Here's Sokolo Wisnicki trying to go right around the outside of Philip Wisnicki as well, and makes the move stick for 7th position. There's a brief yellow on the track. Not seeing where that's come back. Wisnicki's going to try and force the issue though. Philip's on the inside. That's going to be brave, and the oversteer corrections like crazy coming into turn 3. Nothing he could do there. Had to brake. I'm just seeing yellow start to get activated at the top of the screen, and just getting slightly alarmed by them as well. Let's hope there's nothing serious going wrong on the track as we cut back as well. Philip Wisnicki going to try find something into turn 8 and 9. Nope, not going to make the move. Fastest first sector, still from Lewis Dykes, but the second sector is a 30.662, and for Berezin, it's a 30.852 as Wisnicki to the inside line at turn 10. Late on the brakes with a hairpin move. He's going to outbrake himself, go a bit wide. So does Mateus. Look at that, he had to cut the corner. He was way too far wide. Mateus is going to sling it around the outside of Philip. And now they're side by side down the back straightaway. These two getting each other into a mess they don't need to be in. They're not making their own mistakes. They're just making silly mistakes that can just be sort of backed out of it. And Mateus stays ahead of Philip into the braking zone, and they've caught up to Joe Gillette, who is in 6th position. As now Philip tried to pull to the inside line. Joseph Snicky's going to have that opportunity for a braking zone pass, but if Mateus can hold it side by side, they make contact, and that's going to put Mateus into the grass a little bit of wheel banging in the exit at turn 2. Philip goes, okay, I'm going to have to play a bit fairer than this. I can't just do dive bombs. Meantime, that's Mark Petras trying to go right round the outside of McKenna for 9th position, and succeeds with a move that would make Jenson Button proud round the outside turn 3. Only this time it hasn't ended up with Fernando Alonso in the wall. So a good, better opportunity for overtaking now as they come through. Here's Philip again in 8th position, still closing it down. This is one of our closest battles we have on the track right now. If you're wondering or sticking with it, it's the only one that we've got to have the opportunity to pass with. And Gillette now in 6th position will have this power as they come through. Oh, and we've got a penalty as well on the board. And I'll ask my director to repeat it again. Who is it for in my ears? Yes, and he's going to be as well for Christian Berzins as well. His 2nd position. Oh, it's Brody Lawless. It's Brody Lawless. Sorry, thank you very much. Our director's in my ear there, having to hear that over the headphones. We're turning up a bit. It's Brody Lawless in 4th position. He's got that penalty as well from the stewards. So Brody Lawless and he's coming in now. So Lawless is into the pit lane, and that's a disappointment. He had a great run in this race. He's been constant desperately fighting in great positions. That's dropped him now for the battle for 5th position as we're on board with Mateus trying to pass Joe Gillette as well. So of course, Nicky as well going to try and get the cut back. He's got the cut back he needed. He's going to have the accelerator power down towards turns 3 and 4. Yeah, I can't get it. Locks the front brakes. Almost goes straight to the back of Gillette. So he's going to have to reattune his attitude. Philip as well, just Nicky just behind. So coming back through. Look at this, 0.3 of a second, 0.4 of a second between them. So they've still got the data time to find. They've still got the pace to find. If something goes wrong out there, they're not going to be completely abandoned and completely alone. Mateus still get it. It's been too far back. I'm impressed here by Lewis Dykes. 6.6 seconds ahead of Christian Berzins as well in 2nd position. A truly outstanding performance right now. Absolutely brilliant. Here he is, look, our leader of the race in the pale blue as well car with the white side pods across the line to start lap 11 of this event. And a new fastest lap as well, a 1:33.146. Middle sector time was the fastest, 30.648. Meantime, that's going to be, again, Mateus Sokos Nicky is all trying to get through. Philip's just behind him. Joe Gillette proving that he is becoming quite the man, hard to overtake. Mateus going to try and get the dummy round into turns 2 and 3, side by side through 1. He's got the nose into 2, but drops further back and loses speed on acceleration as they cut back. Philip's going to count on that. The braking zone as well into turn 3 and 4. Nope. He lost so much time though as well through the braking point. Trying everything around the outside, coming in through the casino section. You can't make moves at 7. The only move I've ever seen at turn 7 was Button when Vettel went wide in 11. That's it. All I've ever seen in that part of the track. It's an incredibly hard place to go for a dive bomb on. It's incredibly hard to get it right. Meantime, at 8 and 9, this is an opportunity to overtake. We've got a slipstream into it, and it's going to be punching round. Oh no, Gillette's been spun round, and he has ended up like Fernando Alonso, just a chicane later. And I think there was a little bit of contact. I'd love to know if we had a replay on that. I don't think we did, but that was just heartbreaking coming into it as well. So in through as well, that was going to be. So Philip's got up into 5th position. Mateus has also dropped down to 7th. So Mateus has had problems. Brody Lawless has gone through. So the two making contact, losing out of positions. And Philip Cheswicki goes, thank you very much. I'll take 5th position off your hands for nothing more than half price of the having to do the work, just getting through the corners. So on to lap 12. Oh, did Petras just brush the wall at the exit there? I think he was just a little bit too close to it. He hasn't lost too much time across it. There, as you can see, who's made up the most places in this race. It's Petras with 5. Up 4 is David Junt as well. Down 6 is Coupier. Down 2 is Louis Smith. I'm trying to see if there's anybody else that's moved up any more places. 5 for Petras. Carolo's dropped 6th place, the same as Coupier. So they're the two that have dropped the most. But Mark Petras definitely the best overtaker in this race. And if the Academy Series counted towards with the points pay positions as well, and if we run like the Goodwood doing, Goodyear do with the British Touring Car Championship, having the overtake, they call it the Good Wings Award for getting overtakes. I think Mark will be definitely in for a trophy at the end of this opening race. So we have got another one afterwards. Galette's past Maneko as well, so McKenna, sorry, in 10th position. As we look for the battle for 2nd position, with on lap 12 about to start lap 13, so it'll be 2 to go after this one. Are we going to see David Carter have a battle with Christian Berzins as well for P2? That'd be quite fun to see. It's got the exit in towards the braking zones. This is going to be in towards turn 1. No, he's too far back, 0.6 of a second, but look how much time he gains through turn 2. An amazing catch up there, really is good. It's almost too poetic. I'm loving it, absolutely loving the scenes we've got right now as the field close back through. So Dykes on top 7.5 seconds back is this battle for second place with Berzins and Carter. Is David Carter able to take a second place in this Academy Series race? Can he have that grunt of acceleration and power and determination to have a go? He's dropped it a little bit wide, coming through 8 and 9. Up now towards the braking zone for the hairpin. He's wheeling him in. Look at that. 4 tenths becomes 3. 3.5. Loses it into braking. Too wide. Gets an exit pace. Just brings it back in. And now watch as it begins to get clawed in again. 0.3, 0.2, 0.1. Already up. Can he get through? An inside move. Berzins goes defensive. Carter's going to keep it to the inside line, almost taking out the 150 board side by side, loses the rear, jumps over and hits the wall hard. Well, Berzins had nothing to do with that. He had to cut the corner, but that was David Carter getting a bit too greedy. An inside move at that part of the track was never, ever, ever going to pay off. And he has lost out on a run as we start the final lap of this race. Here is Charlotte Monique now trying to go to the inside of McKenna into the braking zone. That's how you do a move correctly. Side by side, just keeping a nose in, just avoiding the wall. But that is going to be, is that David Yuntz? No, it's Yunus Karula. Karula's going to go around the outside of the pair of them and take 10th position. McKenna and Monique dropping out, and Karula doing a fantastic impression to swing it through and take the pair of them into the last couple of corners. This is fantastic. So this is the last lap of race number 1. We have race 2 coming up shortly as well. They don't get long to rest. It's a total, as you know, of 28 laps that we get across 2 races to decide all of the fun. And can now look at Mateus. He's in 8th position trying to fight back. He's attacking Petras now as well. So can Sokolos with sneaky luck get into it? To the inside at turn 8 and 9. No. Petras going to keep that pretty much secured. Lewis Dykes is in the 3rd sector, so I know he'll be approaching the wall soon. Here comes Mateus on a move on the inside line at turn 10. He's going to think about it on the inside, tries lay on the brakes, goes for the move. It's going to be wheel to wheel. He might just get to the exit and does so. Are we going to see Petras take it? No. Across the line, we've got Lewis Dykes, who has taken the checkered flag and wins race 1 here at the Circuit Gilles Villeneuve. Can Mateus get on the power as well? Can he get past Petras? Second place has gone definitely to Berzins as well, and he's backed off, and he's let Gillette through. So Mateus and Gillette's in the back of him, and Gillette's in the wall. Mateus has gone through on him. Now that was a very confusing couple of corners. What happened there? Oh, so Mateus goes through, Joe Gillette goes across the line, and Charlotte Minkin, he's going to take 10th position across the line. Yes, Charlotte finishes in the top 10. Fantastic performance. Brilliant. So it's Lewis Dykes who wins as the field complete the line. Fantastic. We're just waiting on a few more. Cabanas is yet to cross the line. As he does so now, Harvick takes it in 15th. And we're watching Nick Coupier in P16 and Louis Smith in the last one. Oh, Nick's lost his front wing coming in the last corner. Alan Harvick crosses the line, takes the checker flag. And Louis Smith jumping over the exit curbs. Just finished the race, takes her across the line. And Louis Smith completes out with the checkered flag to end race 1 here at Montreal. So let's take a look then at the results from the first race of the day. It's Lewis Dykes who wins brilliantly by 8.679 seconds. Christos Berzins is in 2nd. David Carter finishing 3rd, dropping back after that mistake at the last corner. Oliver Taras in 4th. Ches Wisnicki is in 5th. Lawless 6th. Petras 7th. Sokolo was sneaking in 8th. Corolla 9th. Charlotte Monique brilliantly in 10th position. McKenna 11th, then we get Joe Gillette in 12th. David Junt managed to pull it up to 13th place. 14th for Michael R.J. Cavanas. Cameron Harvick is in 15th. Nick Coupier is in 16th. And Louis Smith rounds out in 17th place. So race 1 has concluded. Race 2 will be coming up shortly. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back after the break. Race 2 at the circuit Gilles Villeneuve is about to get underway for the GPVWC Academy Series in 2023. Race 1 was won by Lewis Dykes. Can he do the same in race number 2? We're going to find out shortly as well if he can do it. 14 laps ahead of us once more around the 4.361 kilometre circuit here in Montreal on the Ile Notre Dame on the St. Lawrence Seaway as well. A man-made island. What are we going to see? This is going to be spectacular for the 10th round of the Academy Series. So we are all set. We just had another warm-up session. Guess who was top? The man who's topped every single session so far we've had. Lewis Dykes is fastest, 1:33.633, 0.728 faster than Philippe Cheswosnicki as well, who finished that one in second position. There was David Junt third, Mark Petras fourth, and Dylan McKenna rounded out the top 5 from the previous results. So cars are starting to come to the grid. We'll have the parade lap as per normal, and then we'll head off on another 14-lap adventure as the cars now don't need to take it. It's going to be Caroline Harvick who's got pole position in this one with the reverse grid format. Looking down the order to see where we're going to see Lewis Dykes. He's down in 15th position, so a complete reverse to what we've seen. Is Christian Vazda who's managed to make the field. He's down in 18th position. Wasn't in race 1, but has managed to make it back for race 2, which means he starts at the back of the grid. Louis Smith in 16th as well. Nick Cooper starts 16th as well. So a little bit nice of a reverse grid format to come through for the Academy Series. The second event of the day. Just waiting on 2 drivers, Mark Petras and David Junt, to get out there. David Junt's going to start third on the grid. We'll get the full rundown in a second. David Junt's the only one there. They're all there. And away we go for the parade lap now. So the cars begin to roll then here at the circuit Gilles Villeneuve. This is your starting grid. It's Caroline Harvick on pole position. Michael R.J. Cabanas starts in second. David Junt is third. Joe Gillette starts in 4th position. Third row of the grid sees Dylan McKenna start in 15th position. Charlotte Minnick starts in 6th. Jonas Corolla is 7th. Mateusz Sokoznicki starts in 8th position. Mark Petras starts P9 on the grid alongside Brody Lawless as well. Philippe Cheswosnicki as well starts 11th. Oliver Taras starts in 12th. 13th on the grid as well for David Carter, 14th for Christian Spurzins as well. Lewis Dykes, our race winner, and the man who's been fastest in all the sessions so far, he starts 15th. Nick Cooper is 16th on the grid, 17th on the board, Louis Smith, and Christian Vazda makes his racing appearance. Didn't want race in race 1, back now for race number 2. And with that, starts at the back of the field. So 14 laps will be the call ahead of us as we complete this formation lap. Track temperature is at 47 degrees. Air temperature is at 27 degrees. Bright sunshine as well. So no sign of any of the clouds that affected the first race. And there was no spots of rain, thankfully. It looked like there was for just a fraction of a second. Everyone was panicking a little bit with that, me included, up in the commentary box because of what we had. Just taking a look at the Academy Series chat on the Discord server. Everyone is very much enjoying tonight's action. There's a lot of, as well, excitement out there. So it's going to be a lot of fun to see what we can have in this second race as they come into the last chicane here as well. This is going to be Caroline Harvick on pole position. Cabanas is second. David Junt third. Joe Gillette 4th. Harvick will start right. Cabanas starts on the left. Wonder if it's possible to get an angle looking back on the grid towards the lights so we can see them all 5 coming on, because it's quite hard as well to get an idea. That's a... I think we're not going to... That's going to be... Yeah, it's coming into position. That's something that Alpha should really adjust here, to get the camera angles better so that we can have a bit of a free-for-all as well. But here we go then. Lights coming on. Race 2 is about to get underway. All 5 lights are on. Lights out, race on. Academy Series is underway again. Good start from Harvick. You've had a brilliant start. David Junt's going to get a quick getaway. He gets away ahead of Cabanas in 2nd position. Joe Gillette in 4th. Look at McKenna. He's up in 5th position, chasing down the middle of the field. Cabanas has just dropped back, sinking like a stone. Here comes Caneno around the outside. And they're just literally parting between them as we got as well an inside. And the lead change in the front. Oh, and contact into the wall. 2 cars round. One of them is going to be, I believe, going to be Cabanas, and the other, oh, huge accident. Huge in the back of the pack. We've got cars everywhere. And will they red flag and restart? Because we've got several everywhere. Huge accident, and it's Louis Smith involved as well. Cabanas, Vazda, Petras too. Huge accident in the middle of the field. They're still running together in pack racing as they come into the braking zone in towards 8 and 9. That is Corolla in 7th position. The field segregated a bit too much now. Many of them with damage, many of them as well in too bad of a position to continue. I think Petras is the worst. He's officially out of the race. No rear left tyre as at the inside. Some dive bombs. That's Lawless trying to make a move. There's another lockup further back. Cars sliding everywhere. What a chaotic start to this one. It's just with Nicky, who was having a bit of a slide. He's lost positions. That's Berzin's just behind him. On board with Chester Nicky looking back now. That is going to be Lewis Dykes, who's in 9th position. So Lewis Smith now in 16th position. Dykes still in 9th position now under pressure as well from Phillip as they come into the chicane. It's 2 cars further ahead, side by side. And, again, jumping off of there. There's another car at the wall. Is that going to be Corolla? I think it is. Carter's off there too. There's 3 cars wide. Oh, and another one in the wall. Oh, and another one. Oh, and another. Oh, this is getting ridiculous. 4 cars punching into the wall at the end of the opening lap. So many cars without front wings. It's a bit unbelievable, this. And there are several coming to the pit lane. That's Carter. David Carter's coming to the pit lane. Mark Petras, apparently, officially now DNFs. He was lying in the track. That's where the yellow flags were at. Because you can still move the car unless he's lost the engine. So it's clear. The track is clear, but we've lost several of the drivers. Battle at the front, though. That's Brody Lawless as well. David Young from the back of race 1 has got up, and there's another yellow flag in the first sector. And it's going to be Taras who's dropping down the order. So Oliver Taras has had a problem. There he is. He's at luck. He's got no front wing. He's got no front wing now as well. So many cars running there with less aero. I won't be surprised if we see some pit stops to fix that during this race. Utter chaos at the start here. Here's Brody Lawless. He's going for 2nd position on the inside of McKenna down at turn 10. Nice lunge up the inside. McKenna knew he was there. Lawless goes through. A lovely sweet move. He's going to keep side by side past the old start line here that we used back in the 1980s. Lawless is on the inside line. One more with McKenna, who's going to try and do the switchback from the outside to the middle. Now they swap sides as well. Like a perfectly synchronized sweep of the sea. And can they do it? No, not into the last corner. So McKenna stays in 3rd position. Meantime, further back, this is Christian Berzins. And again, just nearly putting the wall there. So now there's Caroline Harving, who started this race on pole position, down now to 6th position due to all the melee. Brody Lawless as well moved up places, as I said earlier on. And Lawless is now very straight off the track and takes a cut-off through turn 1. So he's going to have to lift with that place back. He does, gets the time back, now goes defensive. McKenna goes right around the outside. Lewis Dykes already up into 3rd position, nearly going over the top there of Lawless, coming through turn 3 because he backed up so much, didn't give him enough room. Cabanas in the pit lane, Karula, Taras as well in the pit lane. David Carter's back out on the track, so he had a new front wing fitted as well, but cars were going left, right and centre. Harving now, unfortunately, she's dropping. Caroline Harving is dropping down onto 11th, so, well, 11 places lost really, P1 to P11, so not a great getaway in the opening 3 laps of this race. Taras has got a penalty now at the top of your screens. And it's only lap 3, and so much has happened. Who said reverse grids are boring and nothing ever happens and they're a waste of time? Everything's exploded here in the Academy Series. Now we've got Brody Lawless trying to go around the outside of McKenna and Dykes. Dykes has taken the inside line and gets ahead of McKenna. McKenna going defensive against Lawless. So Nicky getting involved in there too. Lawless has the inside line on the run down the straight. He's going to get toe off of Dykes as well. He's going to pull off the inside, blocking McKenna, trying to go around the outside of Dykes into the braking zone now for 13 and 14. Late on the brakes, stop, turn in, put the power down, can't do it, can't get ahead. Has to say, okay, I'll try to switch back. Almost to Hamilton and Button in the pit wall. My goodness, Brody's now pushing Dykes down the start-finish straight. 7 seconds is quite big. Brody's going to go on the inside. He's got a history of running wide. Dykes keeps it. Lawless goes a little bit too wide of the exit, and it is Dykes who keeps 2nd position. Brody Lawless down into 3rd. Under pressure now from McKenna. So McKenna is there too. And is Brody going to have it? No. So they're sneaking in there too. Coming back up is Monique and Chiz was sneaking in there too. Computers predicting battle for second between 5 drivers. So that's Dykes, Lawless, McKenna, Slower, Sticky and Monique. As we get into worlds 8 and 9 once more, lightly touching the accelerators through this part of the track. Don't want to hit the sausage curbs and lose positions. What just happened to Berzins at the exit? Got a bit too excited and lost down on time. A lot going on now into towards the braking zone. That's Gillette trying to go right around the outside of Berzins, and Berzins is going to say, okay, you try that, I'll stay on the inside line. But Gillette gets a much powerful exit and just steams through with the quicker gear shifts up as well. So Gillette keeps in 8th position. I don't think Berzins is going to like that one bit. Down now into the braking zones. He's going to look to the inside with a late brake into the chicane. No, don't try it, don't try it. Oh, he's going to ram him instead. Okay, now he's going to take the sausage curbs and end up in the wall. Yep, it's such an easy mistake to make, but it's so basic. It doesn't need it to be done. And now we've got Chester Sticky side by side. I believe that's going to be Monique who's on the outside. Now Monique's coming under pressure. Yeah, so yeah, it was McKenna. It was David McKenna. So they've changed over as well. Dylan McKenna in 5th position now, trying to look on the inside line. Now there's Brody Lawless as well in 3rd position. Can you have a note on the inside of Lewis into 7? Nope, yellow flag sector 2. Hang on, the only driver in sector 2 should be David Young. So has he had a problem? No is the answer I've got in my ears, thank you. Quite quick from our direction, thank you. There's Brody Lawless then. No, not going to look for the move on the inside line. There's a bit of a sausage curb exit at 8. Hairpin's up next at turn 10. Seeing it, just wheeling him in ever so slightly. He's going to be a look on the inside, a little bit of a break. Meantime, further back, so is Nicky and McKenna in a battle. So we've got like the front. Oh, well, that's Gillette up the inside. Let's make the move back on Monique. So Gillette passes Monique, and that puts him up into 7th place. Fastest lap is actually by David Carter, but meantime, this is Dylan McKenna trying to take so is Nicky for 4th position. And he's taken him, but it's going to be slightly too tricky. Don't lose a wing. Whoa! Did that get close or what? Into turn 13 and 14. On board with Chester Nicky now as well. He's got ahead of McKenna's on the inside line of the picture. Still going to go for a late break. And McKenna decides, nope, not going to take that opportunity at this time. That's Gillette just behind him as well with the same livery, so that's going to be fun to take the pick between those two in a few moments' time. But McKenna is 110% here, dropping and then catching back. Oh no, there goes Gillette. That's 7, so McKenna's losing time. Lewis Dykes. Wow, 1:33.756. He's brought the gap down to 6.1 seconds. It was 7.8 at the start of the previous lap. So they are having the closeness and they are improving on the overall race strategy. This is Gillette now, just nearly losing his front wing. It's enough to destabilise McKenna, and now Gillette's got the inside line for the hairpin and the perfect opportunity to brake. Just run him a little bit deep. Although runs it himself deep, goes wide, McKenna does the switchback. Now they're going to go side by side. Gillette has the opportunity there to defend, and now they're swapping and changing. So Gillette's in front, now one more with McKenna, who's directly behind. He's going to use the toe. So Gillette blocks the inside left, and to the inside right goes McKenna for the switchback. That's a move done. He can't take any opportunities. He's got to go straight through. Going to lock up though. Perfectly makes the chicane. He's going to lose time on the exit though. So Gillette's going to come under pressure as well from Benzi as well. So look, Benzi's is there. And he's taking him. Gillette's down. Gillette is down into 9th position. Losing time. Trying to get it back. Not going to pay off through 1. So what a run here for Christian's Berzins as Coupier making moves. What is going on? Timing screens. I need to give it a big hit there. Is that Monique? Timing screen's going funny. Yeah, it's Monique. So it's the timing screen. Yeah, so it's Monique up in 7th position. There we go. Battling now with Joe Gillette. And Gillette's gone through. So it's Monique up in 6th position as well. The R factor set was glitching on me today because I was convinced that what I was watching was that. as it comes through. There's got an LP7. So the gap between David Junt and Lewis Dykes is 5.2 seconds. That is coming down quite quickly with half the race still to go. Now look, it's 4. No, it was 4.0. Now it's 5.1. That's 5.0, 4.9. Here we go. So I think David Junt's going to have a little bit of an issue here, but he is catching. I believe that is going to be David Carter, who is a lap, coming up on a lap down in this race. Camaras is still in the pit lane, by the way, and he has now been passed by David Carter. So Camaras has now officially DNF'd from the race as well. So he was registered still as just in the pit lane. Now he's officially DNF'd as Gillette trying to go around the outside of McKenna, nearly losing it, kept it going, but through goes Monique. Well, that was pretty much a strange place to try and overtake. Galette's going to try and attack Monique back, but Monique's going to attack McKenna into one. Galette's going to try and send around the outside, loses the rear, and Monique keeps the position. Well, at least they're not losing that much time, but it's going to be destroying the tyre for Gillette as well. It's not exactly doing himself any favours either in terms of popularity out there on the track. A little bit of a dust kick up there as well. Monique is gaining. This is the battle over 6th position. Throwing that as, oh, Gillette's going to go for a late lunge at 7, and Monique saw it coming, lets him go through. Monique just said, yep, okay. So Charlotte did exactly the right thing there, opened the door, let him go through, because otherwise you'd both be off the track. That was a risky dive bomb from Gillette, and it is just paid off for 6th position. This is Mateusz Sokolosniki in 5th position, chasing down the old friend of Philip Czerwinski as well, who's in 4th. And these two had a battle and a half in the opening race of the day as they pull it back down the straight towards turns 13 and 14. 2.5 tenths, 2 tenths, 1.5 tenths, inside line, pulls it to try and do the switchback. No, Czerwinski, Philip had the battle, so Philip's ahead. Mateusz is in 6th position, and Mateusz is going to go to the inside line down the straight. Goes the outside line for 1, inside for 2, side by side, and an easy move. But Philip's got the cut back, takes an inside tight to turn 2. So Mateusz isn't home and dry just yet. There's Gillette in a battle with McKenna, and I believe that's McKenna trying to go around the outside with Gillette on the inside line. It is indeed. And that's not going to pay off in this part of the track, but unfortunately that is Monique down into 8th position. So they are swapping and changing as Monique, we're watching now, trying to go on the inside line at 7. No, and Gillette is up into 6th place. So making the moves and making everybody smile out there on the racetrack today. Not to say the same, because here comes Dylan McKenna. No, not at 8 and 9. Remember that. Oh, look at that from Gillette. And it's unsettled him. Coming through the chicane. Here comes McKenna. Outside line for 10. Slipstream not available. There's no one in front. Bit of a dust kicked up there as well for poor Charlotte. And no one makes the move at the braking zone for the hairpin. But there's a long run down towards 13 and 14. McKenna in that tow, bringing Charlotte Monique with him as well. To the inside line, goes defensive for Gillette. McKenna says, okay, I'll try around the outside line. Late on the brakes, they're going to come together. Monique's going to get a tank slapper, just about saves it. Keeps it off on the inside line, loses a position to Charlotte Monique. And now Monique's on the back of Gillette. Can she make a move? Is he going to go defensive? Yes, it does. Charlotte can't make an opportunity work for her. Inside. Nope, drifted out wide. So Gillette's going incredibly defensive. This is over 6th place, by the way. There's Lewis Dykes, who's now within 2 seconds of our race leader, David Junt. If this is another a dominating weekend, and this is it. This has been brilliant today. Yellow sector 2. Oh, it's gone now, but don't tell me that was any of our leaders with Gillette, Monique and McKenna. No, it wasn't. So probably just a minor off track, and it's deployed the yellows. Hello, there's a winglet there at the exit. So that's a weird one. That's not come off of Dykes' car because we can still see it. And it's not come off of Young's car either. So just a random piece of debris at that part of the circuit to be mindful of until it gets vanished away. That 10 of 14. There's Lewis Smith in 12th position, part of the major opening lap crash we had, which is, well, it's Harvick must have been involved in that too, because Harvick was at the front, so to drop 42 seconds back, Caroline Harvick must have been involved in something in this race that's dropped her that far back, because I don't think there's pit stops in my mind, but Harvick's done 9 laps out of the 10 we've completed, because we're now on to lap 11. As we look at Dylan McKenna from the helicopter camera, looking for a move on Charlotte Monique, and now we look at Mateus, Sorkoznicki battling with Philippe Czerwinski as well. A little bit of a slide there for Mateus in the red engine cover, and the blue engine cover coming for Philippe just ahead of him. Is there going to be anything into the... Oh, more dust getting kicked up as well. Into the braking zone for turn 7. Oh, Philippe went a little bit too wide there, and then we get Mateus with a snap as well. Remember, track temperature's at 47 degrees, air temperature at 27, so there is no room for error in terms of overheating your tyres. You've got to literally drive to save. I wonder what combination they've got on those cars right now. I'd love to find that out. Well, they've all got blues on my screen, so there we go. Oh, we need to get up with the medium compound tyre. As they come on then, into turns 10. Just takes a wide line there for Mateus. Philippe gets a cut back. A little bit of a slide from Mateus. More dust getting kicked up further back. And now into the braking zones. The next opportunity for an overtake. I can't see it working here. Not this time around, unfortunately. A little bit of a look for Mateus. Nope. Philippe stays ahead. So now, with 3 laps to go, effectively, 12, 13, 14, we've got the battle at the front, which is now less than a second, as we're seeing it. David Junt with the red liveried car you're watching. Lewis Dykes in second with the light blue right behind, sort of like the baby boy blue you get as well in nurseries all around the world. Into the braking zone. Duck egg blue, I think, is the official term for it. Somewhere along those lines. Used to be our bathroom colour as well at my house. Quite a funny little story. As they come in, 6/10, 5/10. It's still blue, our bathroom, but now it's like a darker blue, almost like the TARDIS blue in Doctor Who. Lewis Dykes now gets it through. Better exit. David Young sliding through 8 and 9. So this could be a back-to-back victory for Lewis Dykes if he can make the opportunity. There's 2 to go after this one. No need to be a hero just yet. Just start putting the pressure on, Yunt. That's all you need to do. Don't go for a dive bomb, because then that could happen to you on the penultimate lap. Save your time. Save your energy. He's not even listening to me, because he's going to go right round the outside on the run towards 13 and 14. David Judd just sort of sees it coming, accepts his fate. They still go side by side, and David Judd falls in behind. Lewis Dykes takes the lead of the race with 2 laps to go of the circuit Gilles Villeneuve. Now he's going to be pursued by David Judd, who was at the back. He was qualified 10 seconds slower, got himself in the pace for this reverse grid. That's where he was, I think, thinking qualifying is make that up. But it's not working out as things stand, because they're still side by side, but it's a bit slow, so there's 4 tenths between them. Now we're looking at Philippe Czerwinski and Mateus Sorkoznicki as well, through 1 and 2. Mateus snapping, Philippe just ahead of him. You can see the identifiers of who's who on your screens now as they jump over the curve at 3 and 4. A little bit wide, almost into the wall there for Philippe. To the casino. Is Mateus going to have a lunge at some point? Oh, that's Louis Smith. That's not being passed. That's just Lewis Smith. Oh, hang on, that's into the wall. I think is that going through now? Looking at the timing screen, that's not Caroline Harvick, so that must be Jonas Corolla, who was just there ahead of Lewis Smith, because Christian Vazda is a lap down on the field. Taras is out of the race, so is Carter. So they're 2 that have dropped off, and then we get Kamenas and Petras out early on here. But Mateus Sorkoznicki getting a little bit exit curb, gets on the power. Now this will be the best attempt. That's 13 and 14, about to start the last lap. Is Mateus going to have anything here for yellow sector 2? We'll keep an eye on what that is. Here comes Mateus. Philippe goes to the inside to go defensive. Mateus looks and thinks about the outside. Not going to happen this time. Final lap the call. Now, Philippe had a poor exit. Mateus is right there. This might be the opportunity that they're looking for to the outside of turn number 1. It'll become the inside through turn 2 on the cutback. Side-by-side stuff. Philippe's going to try and drag him out wide. It's just going to help Mateus' cornering. Still side-by-side. And Mateus, with a brilliantly thought-out move, goes ahead. Gives just enough room in case Philippe tried to do a cutback through 3 and 4. And Mateus is ahead. Beautifully done, as Lewis Dykes has got 1.2 seconds off the rest of the field. A beautiful race then here at the circuit Gilles Villeneuve. This is McKenna and Coulpierre as well in 8th and 9th positions. And this is again our next closest spot to the track. Coulpierre is going to look on the inside line, locks up the brakes, nearly goes off the track in the rear. And McKenna is just going to have to sit and sort of accept this one because Coulpierre has gone much, much faster as we go down towards turn 8 and 9. Dykes in the final sector. Coulpierre's on the inside, 8 and 9. McKenna's going to go wide, and round goes Coulpierre. That's it, done. There's David Junt in second position. Lewis Dykes in first. Well, this has been something I don't think we've seen in Academy. Fast in practice, fast in qualifying, fast in the warm-up, fastest in race 1, fastest warm-up 2. Lewis Dykes does a Grand Slam in the Academy Series and wins race 2 here at the circuit Gilles Villeneuve. And now we see the battle between Philippe and Mark. Still getting close. Philippe jumps across the track. Mateus is going to get it towards the line. Philippe's mistake has cost him. And Mateus crosses the line to finish in 4th position. Philippe finishes in 5th. And now across the line, there's McKenna. And hitting the wall just behind is Coulpierre with some, I believe, some suspension damage as they come across the line. Oh, hang on a minute. That's sporting. McKenna must have cut the corner. He's lifted and given the position back to Coulpierre. Well, that is sporting. A very sporting gesture to give the position back to Coulpierre. They must have cut the corner at some point, and Coulpierre gets the position back. That's very sporting. And there we see last few riders to take the checkered flag. Joe Gillette, by the way, 30.6 second sector, fastest of anyone. Karula jumps out the last corner. He'll take the checker flag in P12. Louis Smith in 13th as well. Across the line, there's Karula taking the flag and straight back to the pit lane. Vasdal's already done so. Louis Smith crosses it. And that ends race 2 at the circuit Gilles Villeneuve on the Ile Notre Dame. And let's take a look then at how they officially finished in race 2. Lewis Dykes doing back-to-back wins and sweeping every session we've had here tonight at the Academy Series. David Junt is in second position. He ended 2.1 seconds down. Brody Laws finishes on the podium in 3rd. Mateus as well for Solo Kosnicki finishes in 4th. Philippe Cherzwiznicki finishes 5th. Joe Gillette finishes 6th. Charlotte Minix finishes 7th. Nick Coulpierre is 8th. Dylan McKenna 9th. Christos Berzins is in 10th. Caroline Harvick started this race on pole, finishes 11th. Jonas Corolla finishes in 12th. Louis Smith in 13th. 14th for Christian Vasdal. And then out of the race was Oliver Taris, David Carter, Michael R.J. Cabanas, and Mark Petras all failed to finish. 2 of them as a result of accidents on the opening lap, and 2 later on in the race as well, 5 and 6 laps later. Well, and dramatic race here as well. We've got a couple of drivers in interviews, if we're doing interviews tonight, from our directors in my ears, if we can tell us. If we've got time, couple. Yeah, we've got a couple of Vincent's on mute, I believe, in the Discord. See, let's get a couple in. Who we can get in? Let's get our race winner from the juries, and let's get Lewis Dykes in to the interview room. That'll be quite fun if I can drag him in. Oh, thank you very much as well. Lewis, hello, it's Joshua up in the commentary box. Can you hear me?
I can indeed.
What an absolute performance. Every single session you have topped. I don't think I've seen that before in Academy. How does it feel? Your car setup was absolutely brilliant. Your knowledge of the track second to none, and you stormed through race 2. How's tonight been for you?
Yeah, I guess you could say it's gone pretty well. Good amount of practice gone in, but first race in R Factor 2, so I thought, I'll give it a try, see what GPV is about, and yeah, clearly it's gone pretty well.
I think it's your first race on R Factor 2 and you've dominated. I think you've got a natural talent for this, so you should definitely do some more. Just talk to us then about race 2, first of all, the reverse grid. Had to come from middle of the pack. There was accidents behind you. Don't know if you've seen any of that, but it did split the field up a little bit. But you managed to chase down an 8-second lead as well and take the victory only in the last few corners. That was spectacular racing. But how did that feel going, it must have been like, I am unstoppable.
Well, no, firstly, thank you. But yeah, I mean, I knew the pace I had in race 1 was pretty good, so I just thought, keep out of the carnage, not get any damage, and I'll make my way through. Had some good battling with a few of the guys and stuff. So yeah, and then I saw, there was 10 laps or something to go and an 8-second lead to chase down. I thought, well, I might as well go for it. And I did, and I put in 4 laps of all in about half a tenth, and it was just hooked. It was lovely to drive.
David Young has just said somebody should sign that Lewis guy for FS2. Seems like people call Lewis sort of speed. So you've got a fan there, and he's just tagged you in it as well as David Carter. But honestly, fantastic. Do you want to do some more then in R Factors? As you sort of got an appetite for it now? I mean, you've fastest in the practice, fastest in warm-up, fastest qualifying, fastest race 1, fastest warm-up 2, fastest race 2. That's 6 sessions, and you were comfortably 2 to 3 tenths ahead of everybody. So will you be coming back to do some more?
I hope so. I mean, the idea would probably be to do a few more races this year and then full program next year. So, but currently without team, so we'll see if there gets any interest from tonight. But I don't know. I'm not sure what to expect really. But I watched a few of the FS2 highlights, and it's sort of somewhere I want to be, and then eventually in the top split, competing against the best.
I certainly think that's going to happen after tonight's performance, and definitely you're going to get a few people noticing you. That was some top-tier racing. Thanks for joining us up in the commentary box. We'll let you get back to the others as well behind the scenes.
Cheers. Thanks very much.
Thank you, Lewis. Take care. So absolutely fantastic, as well as we'll close out the show tonight as well, coming up, as we've been on air for everything. Everybody in the chat saying that race was messy. Everyone saying as well, Lewis just on thanks, man, as well to what David Jones said earlier on. The drivers seem to have had a fun race here tonight as well. David Carter's in the box as well, but he's talking, I think, with Dylan, and now he's talking with Lewis. I don't want to interrupt that conversation. I see in the RD lounge David Yuntz in there. I don't think he's going to be up for chat. Mic on mute, so I think we've run out of people to talk to. So we'll sign off on this incredible race that we've had here at the Circuit Gilles Villeneuve, and well, what an absolute performance we've had! An absolute domination here on the Ile Notre Dame by Lewis Dykes. Definitely, if you're watching this Academy Series race, he is the definition of why we have them, to showcase fantastic talent. That's his first race on R Factor 2, and he's swept away the competition. Seriously, anybody out there, he's somebody to sign and keep an eye on in the future. I've been Joshua Burch. Thank you very much for joining us tonight for GPVWC's Academy Series for round 10 here at the Circuit Gilles Villeneuve. My thanks as well to Seva as well, directing, and Vincent in my ears as well tonight. You two have been brilliant behind the scenes. And my thanks to all of you at home for watching as well. Thank you very much from the Circuit Gilles Villeneuve. It's a good night to you all.